We installed all the planting material there. So the biggest thing was to make sure that we had substantial amounts of topsoil in that garden, simply to create a really healthy beds for really large trees that we had brought in from Montreal. We wanted to make sure that they were going to be able to sustain the trip from Montreal and then be able to be planted, and they're growing wonderfully and they're stabilized really nicely. Also too, one of the funny things about that property is that there's a scale insect bug infestation that was coming in from the trees, and it was one of the largest infestations that we had seen. We spoke to a lot of people up to Mon Botanical Garden, and we found out that there's not much they could do about it. So what we did, there was about 3 summers, that we washed the trees before they bud out. So basically we remove all of the scale insects on all the branches as much as we can reach up into the trees, and we reduced the amount of insects into those trees and made sure that the health of the tree was prioritized. Where we really stand out is the structure of making sure that everything was lined up perfectly and lining up those trees and making sure everything was installed properly. And then also with the maintenance, so we take extra care in making sure about the weeding and hedge pruning and things like that. So in Newfoundland, we find that winter wrapping is a really important process, especially when we have a newer garden and we want to maintain the structure of plants. So we basically create these wooden forms around all of the plants. So then we cover it with a really thick burlap, and this helps with the snow loads and everything. So the burlap we use a little bit thicker than normal burlap. Any type of windstorm, especially the snow loads, we're able to protect all those plants. So that's quite a feat every year. We've spent many hours building those forms to make sure everything is working right. We also make sure that the forms are lining up with the other forms, so the structure also still looks aesthetic. We're really proud of the health of the plants. We've taken a lot of care into that. Main focus is making sure that plants, when they went in the ground, were very healthy and all very strong. And then we also made sure that the soil itself, that medium, was substantial. And then we also made sure that there was adequate amounts of fertilizers and lime, as well as making sure that the plants are well protected in winter. I mean, it's a full process, right, to make sure that everything is healthy. What I really like about it is that everything is very healthy and everything's growing in really nicely, so we're really proud of that.